So guys, what is going on? I hope you guys are well. We've just had the undisputed lightweight championship of the world. Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko. And we have a new superstar in world boxing. Teofimo Lopez beats Vasily Lomachenko. When I say beats, I mean he beat him. He beat him fair and square. You know, I hold my hands up, I was wrong. I was wrong. Teofimo Lopez is a special kid. He's a special fighter. There's no doubt about it. That boy can fight. We have a new superstar in boxing. I think he was brilliant. From round one to the end, he was brilliant. Don't get me wrong. First half of the fight, I thought he dominated. He won majority of the rounds. Second half, Lomachenko started coming into it, and he took control of the second half of the fight. But then, you know what? Lopez at the end bit down on his gum shield and won the 12th round, clearly hurting Lomachenko. I don't know whether it's Lomachenko's age. I don't know whether Lomachenko's biting off more than he can chew. That these guys are just bigger, but he's starting to struggle. And today he looked ordinary. I'll be honest with you. He didn't look great at all. He came back. I'll give him credit. He bit down and he came back in the second half of the fight. But to be honest with you, he looked ordinary. And I didn't think he looked great against Campbell either. You know, a lot of people thought that was a one-sided fight, and no, it wasn't. Campbell had a lot of moments of success in that fight. And Campbell, in my opinion, won about 3 or 4 rounds in that fight. You know, I don't think Campbell got the credit in that fight. Campbell really made Lomachenko struggle. And Lomachenko's starting to struggle. He's starting to face better opposition, and he really is struggling. And today, for me, he lost convincingly. Like, I don't think the scorecards were as wide as what the judges had it, but he lost that fight. And Lopez, you've got to give him massive credit. He's a great fighter. Great fighter. But I do think the way we've picked up Lomachenko and the way we talk about him, and I'm also at fault for this. For me, this was Lomachenko's biggest fight in terms of profile, in terms of everything that was riding on it, him becoming an undisputed champion, and he's lost. Really, when you look at it, he's lost. When I look at some of the great fighters like a Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao in the recent era, they very rarely lost big moments, like big fights or big moment fights like that. You know, Manny Pacquiao's got losses, but I'm talking big moments where it really mattered, where they were going to go to the next level. You know, it was a real big fight for their legacy. They usually won. Mayweather or Pacquiao. I'm starting to doubt whether Lomachenko fits in that category, just because Teofimo made him look ordinary tonight. Like, Lomachenko didn't. He looked like an ordinary fighter to me. I'm being honest. And I like Lomachenko. Everybody knows that follows my channel. I like Lomachenko, but he got made to look quite ordinary tonight. And people say, oh, well, he's moving up weight, and, you know, I'm pretty sure he started off his career at 126, right? And he finished, he's at 135. That's 9 pounds. Where did Manny Pacquiao start off his career? Where did he finish? You know, I don't think he's in the same category as a Floyd or Manny, if I'm honest with you. And here's the thing, people may say, oh, one performance. No, I didn't think before the Campbell fight. I've always said that if he fights Manny Pacquiao would destroy him. And I think this fight really highlights why I say that. I don't even think Manny's a very, very elite fighter in the sense that he's one of the greatest fighters ever. For me, Lomachenko would lose to lesser fighters in 140. I think he couldn't fight anyone in the 140 pound at the top level. I think they all beat him. I think Taylor beats him. I think Ramirez. I think Lomachenko's I think he's at his max now, and I don't even know whether he could beat Lopez in a rematch. I'm pretty sure he may want the rematch. But I do think that we've hyped him up, and I think he's beat a load of guys. And yes, he has beat a load of guys at lower weight classes where he's not outsized, outmatched, or outsized. He can, you know, they get kind of perplexed, and you know, he comes across as a magician with his angles and all of that. But Lopez ain't having it. Lopez has got an iron cast will. Lopez is hungry. He doesn't care about that. Those things don't faze him. When you got top fighters, they're not fazed by you doing these side to side movements They're not phased. Lopez wasn't phased by that. Campbell wasn't phased by that. They're not phased. Like, they're not phased. You know, and I'm not buying it. I think he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter, Lomachenko. He's a special fighter, but I don't think he's as good as what we made him out to be. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think he's got great feet and his movement is brilliant. But at the end of the day, like I said, I do think, as Timothy Bradley said, as soon as you take those angles away from him, he's ordinary. He's ordinary. You know, can you imagine Mayweather against Teofimo Lopez and him losing? I just can't imagine it. Can you imagine Pacquiao against Teofimo? Can you imagine him losing? I just can't see it. You know, I just can't see it. I just couldn't see them losing. You know, and I do think, don't get me wrong, I do think what Lomachenko's done is brilliant, and the fact that he fought for undisputed, you know, in his third weight class. But again, I'll say it again, 126 to 135, yes, it's £9. It doesn't seem like a big jump. It is a big jump, but guys that are light welterweights have to make a £7 jump to fight at welterweight, and many guys have done that successfully. So when you look at it that way, right? Don't get me wrong, and here's the thing, we're judging Lomachenko at high standards as well, because we're saying he's pound for pound best. So when you're pound for pound best and you're being called an all-time great, you've got to be judged at those standards. And for me, he was ordinary tonight. He got made to look ordinary by a 23-year-old. Don't get me wrong, the 23-year-old's special. But I do think we've overhyped this guy. He's a good fighter, great fighter, but I don't think he's as good as what we're probably making him out to be, if I'm honest with you. And I think Lopez kind of showed that tonight. And I think Campbell showed that. I think we saw that against Pedraza. You know, I'm not sure Lomachenko's as good as what we think, or as good as what we think he is. And I'm not doing it reactionary. I had these feelings before. I just didn't think Lopez was as good. I think where I was wrong, I didn't know Lopez was as good as he was. And I found out that Lopez is kind of special. I think Lopez is going to go to 140 and he could cause some damage. You know, I do think the guys up there are going to be a lot bigger, stronger. They're good boxers, and it's not going to be as easy. And I do think Lopez was a lot bigger than Lomachenko. And you know, he had definitely good IQ. He was very fast. I think why Lomachenko got bamboozled is because Lopez was very fast. And let's not forget, Linares put Lomachenko down. You know, and Lopez just was hungry. He was determined. It was just the fact that Lopez was really sharp and really quick as well, especially early on in the fight. He was really quick. And I think Lomachenko was struggling. And I do think Lomachenko was hurt several times, just because I think Lopez was bigger, strong. He punched hard. And I think Lopez did brilliant. Lopez is a lot better than what he looks. I think Lopez is a very, very good fighter. I think he's a very, very special fighter, actually. You know, for him to, at the age of 23, to become an undisputed champion and beat Lomachenko the way he did, and I thought he won comfortably. I thought he was the comfortable winner, in the sense. Don't get me right, the fight was close, but I thought he was the comfortable winner. I don't think there was any debate. I think he won. I'm straightforward. I'm honest. He won that fight. I don't know whether Lomachenko, there's any slippage. People are going to say, oh, they're Lomachenko. I don't think so. I just think he's facing bigger, better competition now, and he's struggling. And those guys aren't fazed by his movement and what he's doing in the ring. See, the thing is, guys like Campbell, Lopez, Linares, although he put in a good performance against Linares and Campbell to an extent, they didn't respect what he was doing. They didn't care about him going side to side and doing all those angles. They didn't give a crap. They were like, so what if you're doing what you're doing doesn't mean nothing to us. See, when you don't respect what somebody's good at, and you come out there with a game plan, which Lopez did tonight, right? He didn't care what Lomachenko was doing. He was more intent on doing what he wanted to do, and he did it brilliantly. Lomachenko tonight looked Didn't look like pound for pound best fighter in the world. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. Lopez, if anyone, Lopez looked the better fighter. Lopez was brilliant tonight. And I do think that I think Lomachenko's a great fighter, but I do think we've hyped him up a little bit too much. You know, he's not on Mayweather or Pacquiao's level. He's not. He's just not. And Canelo's better than him, in my opinion. Canelo for me is the best pound for pound fighter in the world right now. Right? And Lomachenko for me is not in his league. If I'm honest with you. Like, yes, all of that stuff about him doing his angles, it looks good. But it's not necessarily always effective in the ring. Yes, the amateur record's brilliant. Yes, he's got a brilliant amateur record. 2 gold medals. Fair play to him. Yes. But I don't think he's the best fighter in the world. I think he's a magician and he does great things inside a ring. You know, his movement's great, yeah, but it doesn't always that doesn't always translate to him winning every fight. You know, Mayweather, like I said, won the big fights. Even Pacquiao won the big fights. Yeah, he lost some, but the big fights, most of the big fights he won. You know, and this was Lomachenko's biggest fight in an undisputed fight against an inexperienced guy, a very talented Teofimo, but an inexperienced guy, and he's come up short. And it's not like it was controversial. He came up short. And I don't think he can win in a rematch. I think Lopez is going to be even stronger, even better, more confident, even better. Whereas now, for me, Lomachenko's going to get worse. He's going to be on the slide. He's getting older. Lopez is coming. No, I don't even know if Lopez is in his prime. For me, Lopez is coming into his prime. He's not in his prime. So for me, if this rematch happens, I've got Lopez again. Just because I think that Lopez looks special, and I don't think Lomachenko's as great as we think he is. I think he's a great fighter, but I don't think he's as great as we think he is. You know, when people start saying he's the best fighter since Ali or he's greater than Floyd, bore off. He's not in Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather would have absolutely annihilated and destroyed Lomachenko, and so would have Manny Pacquiao. He's not in their class. He's not in their league. Simple as that. He's not. You know, those guys were different level of fighters. And none of these guys today are. None of these guys today in boxing are as good as prime Mayweather and prime Pacquiao. I'm sorry, they're not. And neither is Lomachenko. Don't get me wrong, Lomachenko does things in the ring that we haven't seen before. He's great, got great movement, he moves from side to side, brilliant. But that doesn't always mean he's going to win every fight. You know, he's brilliant. He's not as effective. Like I said, I think he's a great fighter, but I don't think he's in the league of Mayweather or Pacquiao. Simple as that. Simple as that. And that's just my opinion. I think Lopez put in a brilliant performance. I think today we should forget about Lomachenko. There's a new superstar that's born, and his name is Teofimo Lopez. And he is the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. Massive respect to Teofimo Lopez. You know, and I was picking Lomachenko by knockout. And I was wrong. Because Lopez showed me tonight that he is special. He's special, and like I said, if they were to rematch, Lopez wins. Possibly by even knockout in the rematch. So that's my take, guys. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Brilliant performance. Congratulations to Teofimo Lopez. 23-year-old sensation. Has now become the undisputed lightweight champion of the world. I'll see you guys. Guys, make sure to like, leave your comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.